Today, we're killing the Storm King. On Reddit, a user that goes by the name MirrorPast534 posted a Storm King Pro tip, which actually told us to use thermal detonators on the final phase to prevent the Storm King from activating his spawners. But what if I told you that using thermal detonators actually does so much more? In order to make thermal detonators, you're going to need to level up your Star Wars village and then have 2 Durasteel and 1 blast core per thermal detonator. Now I recommend bringing at least 5 of them with you because with 5 you should be able to take out the Storm King extremely easily. Yesterday I uploaded the new best duplication glitch in all of LEGO Fortnite, and inside of that duplication glitch I showed you that you can get an unlimited amount of scrap Durasteel extremely quick, which ultimately turns into Durasteel. If you use a metal smelter, the only ingredient needed in order to make Durasteel is to scrap Durasteel. So if you want to get a head start on making thermal detonators, using that duplication glitch is by far the fastest way. Because we have a duplication glitch as far as Durasteel goes, the next thing that we need to do is find ourselves any blast core that we can. Now by far the easiest way that I found to do this, which got me about 10 total blast core in under 5 minutes, was just going around on different geysers inside of the dry valley. Now the reason why I actually tell you guys to do this rather than exploring any type of cave is because you're able to fast move around the entire dry valley, and by going around here extremely quickly it allows you to actually just look down at the floor to find more blast core. Now again, it may not work out the fastest way for you, it's definitely possible that I got extremely lucky, but if I had to give any piece of advice, it's definitely just to use the geysers to move around quickly. That way you're covering more space to find even more of these blast core. Now because of all of the tips and tricks that we know, the Storm King on expert mode has honestly gotten pretty easy. The only things that I'm going to take with me are a ton of arrows, the 10 Eye of the Storm that's needed to enter, 1 legendary sapphire crossbow, as well as 1 rifted sapphire crossbow for durability. I have 16 thermal detonators but won't be using all of them, and then a full stack of storm fruit nectar and black and blue sushi, as well as 1 gem shield. Now you make it even easier on yourself, even in expert mode, when using the storm charm, because you actually take less damage from any storm energy attacks. Now in order to do this glitch, you do actually need to get to the final phase of the Storm King fight, which means that I'm going to cover a few tips and tricks with you guys, that way we can get there extremely easily, because honestly, getting to the final stage is very easy. I'm sure a lot of you guys already know this, but in the first 3 phases, the Storm King is going to put out these respawners, and the best trick in order to get rid of these is to have 2 crossbows as well as tier 3 destruction, shoot 1 crossbow, switch to the other, and you should be able to get through those respawners extremely quickly. Once you've done that, you're just going to attack the enemy minions, kill every single one of them, and move on to the next phase. Now once you're finished the first 3 stages of this fight, which is ultimately just going to be killing the respawners and the minions, the Storm King is finally going to reveal himself. But this is where things start to get very difficult and honestly becomes a real challenge. Once we get through this, the final phase is truly a walk in the park. Now for this next phase, this is going to be a little bit intense, because what happens is the Storm King is actually going to spawn some things to get in your way, then use his electric beam attack, which is very easy to run away from because you just need to move side to side. He's also going to throw a projectile at you, and there's really 2 moves that you can make. Number 1, you could actually just run around the map and you won't get hit. The second thing that you can do is actually to dive directly into it, and that works the exact same way, where when you dive directly into it, it won't do any damage. I know that sounds weird, but it honestly is the truth. Destruction 3 works on the Storm King, which means that you can actually walk directly up to him when his hands are stuck in the ground after a melee attack, and use your Destruction 3 crossbows in order to one-shot every single weak point. That same exact thing is actually going to work on the Storm Horn, which ultimately means that you can just continue to switch between both of your crossbows until you get a one-shot on that horn. Now as I mentioned, each phase does get harder, and ultimately the final stage is supposed to be the hardest because the map is by far the smallest. You're really worried about the Storm King, but ultimately we can make it very easy. On the phase right before that though, you're going to have this experience here, which is going to be all of the respawners coming out. The map gets a little bit smaller, you still have minions chasing you, but now you have these balloon balloons that pop up in front of you that actually slow you down when you run into them. So the next trick that you guys are going to use is taking your tier 3 destruction crossbow, using it on every single one of these balloons, destroying the respawners and the minions, and then focusing on the weak points. You should be able to destroy him extremely weak using any of these tricks. Now the final stage is where things get tough, and that's because as you see, the map gets a little bit smaller, which means that you're in a lot closer vicinity of any of these attacks that come from the Storm King. But now we have our thermal detonators, which are going to be used extremely easily, and I'll make sure to play out this entire clip for you. What I recommend doing is throwing one thermal detonator at the base of the Storm King. Once you've done that, you're going to use your crossbows to attack his body. You want to shoot about 5 shots each out of every single one of the crossbows that you have handy. What you're going to see is for every single time that you throw a thermal detonator, not only is he not going to attack you, but he's not going to put down his respawners, and he's not going to place down any of those decor items that stop you from moving around the map too quickly. Ultimately, what this means is you could pretty much stand still, just like I'm doing inside of this clip, throw one thermal detonator at his feet, and then shoot him until he dies. So to the people that are struggling against the Storm King, obviously using thermal detonators is going to make that final phase a lot easier. Using any type of tier 3 destruction and damage in the first few phases is obviously going to help you out as well. And once you finally kill the Storm King, not only do you unlock achievements just like what I did as far as killing him 3 times for my journal, but inside of expert mode you'll also unlock the Storm King trophy. On top of that, you'll give yourself at least 1 mythic as well as a Shatterhorn fragment, and in this one here I got myself 1 legendary ruby crossbow, which is already considered legendary and doesn't need to go through that rifting phase. One of the first times that I've seen this, at least in my game, which is absolutely awesome to have because it already has max durability, very good knockback and damage, and the only thing I need to do now is to put essence on it. When it comes to the Shatterhorn fragment, because I already have 2 storm charms, I could actually begin to work on brand new Shatterhorn weapons. Keep in mind that tomorrow we have our first update inside of LEGO Fortnite for the new year, which very likely means that any and all glitches and bugs are going to be fixed or changed. So if you guys want to take advantage of the Raven duplication glitch, make sure that you guys go in and do that. If you want to take advantage of the Storm King glitch, make sure that you go in and you do that. And if you want to take advantage of the treasure map glitch, make sure you start doing it today, because we don't know if these things are going to exist in tomorrow's update. I hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to leave a like, comment, and subscribe. And as always, guys, this was Crafty, and I'm out. Peace. But YouTube thinks that you're gonna like that video that's up there in the top left, and you may also want to hit that subscribe button in the top right. Hope you guys enjoyed. Peace.